Following on from our first video about colouring in the Stampin' Up! Stained glass DSP, today I'm going to show you some of the cards, how I made some of the cards with them. I really liked this style, which uses a full length of the DSP into a card. As you can see, I've put nothing inside, I just let the DSP tell the story. This was the first card I made, and I tried to give it maximum width so I could show more of the painted glass, the stained glass, but I became quite uncomfortable with how narrow these side pieces were. I thought it just didn't give the card enough strength, so on this one I made it the same all the way around, and while that may mean that I lose a little bit of the picture, overall I think it's better. So let me show you how I did this. I've got this one, which I think is just a beautiful piece that I've coloured up and into here, cut it in half because it's the two strips that I want. I'm going to use, oops, I don't want that quite so far away, do I? I'm going to use Night of Navy, and as you can see on this card, it uses a full length and not quite a full width. So this is 15 centimetres. So I need to trim this down to 15 centimetres. So we're going to use this piece of Night of Navy card, and I'm going to pop it up to the top and trim it to my 15 centimetres. Slide it along there. That's my spare piece. I'm going to put those down, and I need to score my two side pieces. My two side pieces need to be scored so that I can fold them in like that. The 7.5 is the mark where I need to score, and you could use your scoreboard. I'm just using my trimmer because I've got it out. So up as straight as I can onto the 7.5, and I'm going to use my scoring tool to do this. This isn't my scoring tool. This is a bone folder. So 7.5 from that end, turn it around, and I'm going to do 7.5 from this end. Just trying to make sure I get it as straight as I can because I want these to fold neatly into the middle. So there are my two pieces that will fold in to the middle, and of course I will want to score them to burnish them at least so that they're crisp folds, but before I do that I want to trim out the piece in the middle. Now for this, it means I need to cut an edge that comes in 1 centimetre. I can use my Stampin' trimmer for this. What I've done is along here I've put a piece of my double-sided tear and tape, and that just means I can see my numbers a bit more. So that's what I'm going to use. So what I will do is I'll put the edge on 1 centimetre. Okay, I'm going to have to stand up to do this because I need to see over it. So if I bring both my cutters up here, okay, now this is 15 centimetres. So a reminder, I've got the edge of my cardstock there on 1 centimetre. Then I'm going to bring my cutting blade down to 1 centimetre, which is, if I stop jiggling it around, there it is, I can see it there, and there's a little pointer part that I know that's going onto there. and I'm coming down to 14, and I just hold my finger there as a way of reminding myself so I'm not going to go too far. And there I've got a split that allows me to take it out. And if I've cut carefully enough, it's all just going to pop out, and that gives me my window. Let me put that out of the way, and now I'm going to burnish this down so that you can see it. So burnishing my fold, and then I can just put my stained glass in there. Now you can see it's a little bit big. I've got bits hanging out, so I do need to trim it a bit. So what I do is this bottom part, you know, I've just fiddle around and move it. So putting the bottom part down, the top looks pretty good. I'll just need to trim a bit off the side, and do I need to cut any off the middle? So let's have a bit of a look. Just putting it in here. I think that's looking pretty good. So now we just have to glue it in, and what I would do is either use liquid glue, Tombow, or I'd use my tear and tape, and my personal preference is to use tear and tape because it holds it in well and you don't see it, but I'm aware that some people would like the Tombow because it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. And I'm sure I don't need to show you how to do that. That's that one there, and of course I'd do exactly the same on the other side. So I'll head off and do that. Our next video, the third in the series, will show you how to make an envelope for these slightly out of shape cards that don't fit in a normal size envelope.